So, just over a year ago, I signed up as a regular donor to 25 charities, and there were three main reasons why. So, some of you who were here last year might remember that I signed up to 100 organisations' email lists, and the experience as a supporter doing that wasn't, in a lot of cases, great. In a lot of cases, I think I'm signing up there as a random supporter on an email list, so I thought maybe the experience would be quite different if I signed up as a regular donor. Obviously, organisations invest a lot of money in recruiting regular donors, and so I expected the experience might be quite different. So that was one reason. Another reason was that in 2016 I went to the Institute of Fundraising Convention in London, and one of the speakers said, you can teach a fundraiser how to do digital, but you can't teach digital staff how to do fundraising. And so I thought I'd have a little look and see how fundraisers' digital skills were coming along. And also at the end of 2016, the Commission on the Donor Experience, they did a lot of research looking at donors and fundraisers and what expectations were of organisations. And they came up with some really interesting recommendations for the whole sector, particularly in the UK. So one of the things they said that fundraising charities should make their top priority the interest, convenience and positive experience of their supporters, and that fundraisers must be judged by long-term, more donor-friendly criteria than just by income raised now, and focus more on retention and non-financial engagement. So I wanted to see, is that actually happening in the real world now? So I signed up to a range of organisations, large and small. I tried to pick about half of which also did some campaigning, so there were other things they could send supporters to do. I opted into receiving emails and posts, but not phone and SMS, and I stayed a regular donor for 12 months and then cancelled to see what would happen. And so I'm going to tell you a bit about what happened, and just to let you know that this is anonymised where possible, so hopefully that you won't be able to tell exactly which organisations were involved. But first of all, the experience of post. That's the big pile of posts that I received. 97 pieces of mail in a year, just under one per quarter per charity, that works out as. 69 of those were fundraising appeals. 71% of all the posts I received was a donation ask. In the first 6 months, 57 items of post, 30 donation asks, so just over half. But in the second 6 months, 40 items of post, 39 donation asks. That's 98% of all the communications received. The ones that really stood out were the ones that were thank you, things like postcards, for example. It was a thank you, there's no ask. And this really brilliant one from one organisation that was a handwritten postcard. Moving on to email. 2 charities never sent a single email. 3 sent me a welcome email, then nothing. 4 sent nothing for 3 months and now are sending a steady stream of emails. That was the other edges. The interesting one there was that most opted for the once a month newsletter kind of email. In total, that was 272 emails across the year, on average just under 1 per month per organisation. And one notable one was this organisation sent, as I signed up as a regular donor, they sent this really nice email, thank you email, and then when the first donation went out of my bank account, sent this really nice thank you email as well. I never heard another thing from them. This organisation also did a really nice thing with sending out a really personalised email once a quarter. Clearly not a big template or anything like that, a really nice thank you email telling me what they've been doing over the course of that last few months. It was really nice. But only one organisation made any connection between the emails they sent me. So this was a kind of a story this organisation was telling about a refugee travelling from Syria to the UK. So 3 really nice emails telling that journey. Unfortunately, a little bit undermined by the fact that at the bottom of every email it said, this is a no reply email, quite prominently at the top of the footer. Not a great way to develop a relationship with the supporter, unfortunately. Only 6 organisations suggest any way that was non-financial to get involved in their work, either campaign or volunteering. There were 37 campaign asks in those emails that I received, and 10 surveys, so 37 other types of communication really, but there were 91 financial asks. It's more than 1 in 3 to a brand new regular donor by email. So when you factor in the number of donation asks by post as well, there was 160 donation asks I got in 12 months, so it's over nearly 6.5 donation asks in a year to a brand new regular donor per charity. Now, I'll leave it to you to conclude whether that's charities taking on board that recommendation to take a longer term approach, look furthermore at retention, more non-financial asks. But as a donor, I just felt like I was being asked for money far too much. And what happened when I cancelled was also pretty interesting. 23 organisations didn't acknowledge the fact that I had cancelled at all. One sent me a letter, which was really nice. Thanks so much for your support. We understand that circumstances change and it's not always possible to contribute on a regular basis. One sent a really nice email. Thanks for your support. We're sorry to see you've cancelled. Instead of cancelling, did you know you can reduce your amount? Would you like to do that instead? Yes, I'll reduce my amount. I want to stay cancelled, or I didn't mean to cancel my support. Really nice email. One organisation stopped emailing me as soon as I cancelled my direct debit. And one sent this email a month later. I know you've supported us in the past, thank you, but we need your help again. Set up a monthly donation and help, blah, blah, blah. So no recognition of the fact that I was a regular donor. No real thank you, no personalisation at all, so it was a real missed opportunity. So I think there's a few things that really came out of that for me. There's a huge opportunity for more non-financial asks, surveys, quizzes, polls. There's a huge opportunity to build a narrative with the emails, to make a connection between the different emails you're being sent. And also coordinating post and email. Not one organisation really made a connection, referred to the fact in an email they sent me that I might receive something in the post. And thanking supporters more. There was very little kind of real communications I received either by post or email that really focused on that. And I think it's quite clear to me from these 25 charities that I selected that they're clearly fundraisers are working to short-term targets, not medium and long-term targets. And I personally think that's something that's really important to change. Thank you very much.